Hey guys, Daniel here at High Level Clutching. How's everybody doing today? Yesterday I posted a picture of the inner and outer covers of 2016 to 19 turbo. I posted two different covers. One is a 16 to 18 cover for the turbo, and then one's the later 18 model for the Turbo S and the 19 turbo. You guys wanted to know the differences, why should you go with the newer one, and you just had a whole bunch of questions about it, so I thought I could kind of fill you guys in with a little bit about it, and kind of we'll go from there then, alright? Anyways, as you can see here, on this one here, this is your older cover here, okay? This cover here, if you look at it very carefully, we'll just start with inner cover here, and we'll start with air, okay? Air comes in here, comes in on your, basically comes in on your primary. It's divided, which we'll talk about the outer cover later. But then it comes in on you know, basically both of the clutches as a mixed air. As it comes in, the air kind of gets lost. It'll go back behind there, come over here. It'll find its way out in the red here. And then as you can see, because of this hump right here, the air basically comes back in and comes back in, and eventually it goes out. Also, when it goes out, there's a big opening here, but there's a really tight piece of fitting here, the rubber. It's not a very big hole where the air goes to escape. You know, when air comes into something, you want as much going out as you got coming in. That way you can get these temps down. There's a lot of other stuff too that's changed here on this box. You no longer have the bolt holes here in the center on the newer model. It's very important when you're installing these things, a couple things to take into consideration. One, you've got a bunch of power wires and stuff that run back behind here. Why even keep it that way? You know, if you're a racer, you know, if you're somebody with a little bit of knowledge, just get it out of there. You know, that way if something ever happens, you're able to diagnose it, and you don't know if the problem's behind there. I've seen so many times where guys come in and wires are squished, ground wires are grounded out. These back cases are bent because the factory smashed all the wires in between. That's like the number one I see with all these cars. You know, just simple things like that. It can't sit flush because of the, the wires back there. If you go over here to the Turbo S, this is the newer cover, okay? So basically, we give an option here, okay? And we've been doing this for a few years now. If you look here, you get focused here, sorry. Trying my best to do it this way. Bear with me here. If you look right here, sorry, I'm doing the best I can. If you look here, you will see where I put these marks and it says remove. Well, what we do is we end up removing that, and then we TIG weld in a flat piece, and then that kind of gets us above, like right here, if you can see. So then our air is able to, what I say before, escape properly and come straight in. Now, there's still some other issues with this box of why I disagree with it, but we'll move forward for now. Over here on the turbo box, you'll see they've kind of fixed that. Now, it's rather expensive to go and buy this whole kit and put it on your car. You're talking, you know, for that cover there, don't look at the blue tape there. That's an experiment on something else we were doing. You know, you're talking $800 just for all the materials. You know, that's not including whoever's taking it off your car. And there's some serious bolts you got to get back there, you know, behind the motor. and they're not easy to get to. You know, it might take removing, you know, a back part of the cage or whatever. But anyways, as you can see on the turbo, they kind of fixed that, so you're getting air out a lot quicker. It's getting better CFM levels. The air is coming in directly right on the secondary right there. I always like the phrase that, and you can see what their plan here was, the engineers. It was, let's get air in, let's kind of spread it out evenly, and then it'll finally make its way out. Well, it ain't making its way out because one, the secondary is spinning, and it's spinning so fast, the velocity, that it's just bringing the air back in and the air is fighting to get out. So that's one way to fix the issue here, which we do. We have guys send in all the time. We have the cores ready to go. All you gotta do is send us yours in. We send yours out, it's 250 bucks. Pretty much. We do a couple things on the back too to make it sit a little bit more flusher. Or you could spend the $800 and go this route and, you know, go with the new, which in here there's a bigger diameter too. It's a bigger hose all the way to get the air out. More mass of air can get out of the, you know, the heat escape tube there. And then as you can see here, they've kind of separated the cases. This is about 2 inches from the back, about the width of the belt and stuff back there. And they've kind of divided it up. And the reason why they've done that, air comes in, hits the secondary, it spins around, some of it goes out, and then some of it drags into here and behind here into the primary. Whoops. Sorry. It comes, you know, in here, sneaks up through here, comes back behind the primary, because that box is divided off here on the new one. Well, I like to think of it like this. Like a primary is more like a woman, you know, has a lot more, you know, variables, likes to be clean, a lot more moving components, not as hot-headed, but needs to be taken care of and be kept clean. Whereas a man is more like a secondary, hot-headed, gets a lot more hotter temps, hot-headed, less components, and just, you know, that's why they're forcing the air in on the secondary, which is, you know, very ideal. Now, going back to these, again, if you just entered into the video, you can see what we're talking about here. The difference in these covers here, over here at high level clutching. I want to show you guys something now. I'm going to back up a little bit and show you guys. Now on the back here, you can see where I've kind of scribbled it there and scribbled it there. Those are areas that we kind of mill down to get the box to sit more better, to get it to sit more flusher. We also like to remove those wires that run right along in here, because what happens is they get pushed against here or there, tweaks the box, and then you're pretty much done. So one thing to start, if you're having issues with, you know, your cover not going on or whatever, first thing to do is make sure your box isn't twisted, because there's a good chance it is if your wires are squished back there. On the newer one, you can see that right there. It's one of the issues we have with the box. We end up taking that down, making it smooth. It's about the size of a little bigger than a nog on your belt, so it, you know, when belt slap will hit it, it can cause belts to go. Better to just kind of zoom it off. I don't know why they have it on there. I have seen a lot of marks there and a lot of, you know, belts get removed because of that simple piece right there. But anyways, here you don't have as many screws. You do need to, when you're torquing these things down, let me tell you how important it is, okay? You got to get it in there, get every bolt in there somewhat, shim it every which way to get every bolt kind of fit. Get everything about 3/4 tightened down, that way everything still has movement, okay? Between all these, you have a pretty big tolerance of movement there, okay? And it does make a difference on where your stuff is. When you get ready to torque it down, you want to start here with 5 pounds of torque, and then go here, number 2, and then move over to 3. Okay, and then 4, 5 is your transmission bracket behind on the other side, and then 6. And just for numbers if you want to know, 5 pounds, 37 pounds of torque, 37 pounds, 50 pounds, 50 pounds. Very important that you get these over here tight first on the motor and get this flush. And then what you do is you're kind of pulling your tranny in flush with the motor and the case, okay? Too many guys are trying to pull every which way and it doesn't work that way. Get it nice and smooth against the back of the motor and then get the tranny over. The tranny's light, it'll move when you start sucking these bolts in, you know, bring them in second. And then that's pretty much it. On the back here you can see where they've done a lot of different stuff here. I mean, it's a lot different here. I can compare a lot of differences here though, where things hit, and we're looking at removing a few of these others on here. I don't think they have it perfect yet. There's a rumor that they're working on a new undercover and stuff. I've seen some stuff out there. I'm too good to get any of it. I see more clutches than anybody out there, and I don't get to see really what's going on. But you know, I got a feeling Polaris is doing something about it. I've seen some stuff out there. There's some other stuff you can do to your clutches. If you got a turbo, the Helix, the factory Helix has some steps in it. Having one that's laser cut, smooth, obviously is going to give you a little bit better. Well, first off, you got to get that angle right to your tire size. So if you've changed your tire size and stuff, that can cause you some heat issues. But back to what I was saying with the Helix is, you know, a simple change out of a Helix to a good factory cut Helix, which we stock, is going to do wonders for you. We've seen it not only come down on the CFM just because of that one item, but also it you know, brings up the horsepower and the single digits pretty good. So there's many things. We also make custom air rams that force the air into these. Do not take your cover off, Dooners, you guys. You don't understand. I float sheaves. We do a lot of machine work. Don't take your covers off, okay? If you're having issues, do it right. Take a heat gun. Let me know what the levels are. Let's take the steps on fixing it. It can be in the tuning. It can be, you know, air not getting out, the amount of airflow you got coming in, many things. But anyways, hey guys, it's Friday. Have a good Friday. I hope that helps out. Again, the subject was on the turbo inner outer cover 2016 to 19. Take care guys. High level clutching.